This is the 39th Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2222, which we are trying to send back in time as far as possible. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. So, episode 39, and our last episode, we got a whole lot of emails.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to know more about the Parsians and about the Illuminati. I think we started a topic that we didn't really realize was going to be so interesting for the people back in 2022.
Mm-hmm. 2022, yeah.
So maybe we can put those in a future episode.
Yeah, we can collect our thoughts on it.
Exactly, and maybe speak a little bit more about them. So don't worry, I keep sending in the questions. But for today, I selected a bunch of other ones because we're starting to get more and more user questions.
It's ramping up, yeah.
And I thought I just picked 3.
Mm-hmm.
I read them, you answer.
Sounds good, yeah. And just quick back and forth, yeah.
Yeah.
We won't go into too much detail right now. But
yeah.
If anyone wants more detail, just email us asking.
Exactly. So the first one is from somebody called Fernando. Mm-hmm. He says, literally, love the show. Don't think you guys actually live in the future, but whatever. How did you meet?
Yeah. So Dirk and I, we met at university. We wrote our thesis together, which was actually on investigating methods of sending audio back to the past. That's how we met.
Yeah. And, well, nobody thought it would work.
No. But we have now. If they ever... So you guys are hearing us. If they ever hear us, we've proved them wrong.
Exactly. We proved them wrong, all right. Mm-hmm. Then the next question is from somebody called Dunya. She says, hello. This is the first email from me in the past. Very, very clever. Mm-hmm. She says, can you let me know who will win the Champions League in 2022? I need it for a school project.
Yeah, I can. Let me just look that up. One sec. I got the answer here. Real Madrid. Hope that helps you out.
What kind of school project is that?
It's a strange school project, yeah. Like why you can imagine writing one about the past, but what kind of school project needs you to speculate about the coming results? Who knows? Yeah,
okay. But good luck, Dunia.
Maybe presumably school 200 years ago was pretty different.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the school project, Dunia. Let us know how it worked out. Then there's an email from somebody called Vladimir, something that I can't really pronounce. Vladimir. He says, you guys pretend you're original, but we all know you stole this idea from the famous episode 17 from 1921.
I don't know what he's talking about. Do you?
No? I have no idea.
We don't know what you're talking about, Vladimir. We are very original and we are not copying a thing from 301 years ago.
Exactly. So besides having a last name that I can't pronounce, he also has thoughts that I can't really understand. Mm-hmm. But anyway, thanks for writing and thanks for listening, Vladimir. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that's enough for the user questions for today.
Yeah, so for Vladimir, but also Vladimir, if you want to give us more context, please write to us. And for everyone, please write to us with episode 39 in the subject to michaellasagna5@gmail.com.
Good point. Yeah. I keep forgetting about that. But
we'll say it at the end anyway, but it seemed appropriate to say it now too.
Yeah. We actually do have access to this, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So for today's tech topic, I was thinking that we could explore the Cyborg Chips a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I think we touched upon them in a previous episode, but because only the last, 8 or 9 episodes have actually been reaching the past, I'm not sure if we spoke about them in
ones that people have listened to.
Exactly, but at least we spoke about it in our Solstice episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we mentioned it, right? Because I got as a Christmas present, I got a really nice subscription to a.
So maybe you can recap a little bit what they are.
Yeah. So originally, its intended purpose was to monitor and then later regulate medical conditions. So diabetes, for example, initially just to measure your blood sugar levels, and later that it could modify them. That instead of having to inject insulin, that it could do that for you on the fly.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah, and that was the original thing, and that it still does that, of course. But then as it's developed, in addition to all other kinds of medical conditions that it can take care of, as well as that, it's become more cosmetic. You can change your appearance in various ways.
Yeah.
So cosmetic is how you look, but also then how your body works, yeah? Like you want to be able to run faster, for example, or lift heavier things. It can also take care of that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it works with apps.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's how you interface with it, like how you tell it what to do.
You don't need to connect to it at all. I mean, it's basically completely wireless, and you can install things on it. So I think everybody. I'm not sure what the reach is by now, but I think like 95% of people have one.
Mm-hmm.
And you can install things on it. Some stuff you get for free, like the basic health stuff from the government.
Exactly. That's that. Some governments wanted that not to be free. They wanted it to be a source of revenue. But then by now they've all realized, actually for people to just be healthy is much cheaper in the long run for the country, that they don't have to deal with the bad side effects of illnesses or whatever gone awry that haven't been dealt with sooner. Yeah.
I also, I find it really hard to imagine what would happen if we didn't have them. Mm-hmm. It's basically somebody somewhere in the world has some sort of whatever disease, virus, bacteria. The system picks that up. Mm-hmm. So it detects there is something unknown in the system. It gets immediately centralized, addressed, a cure is found, and is injected in the system before this went anywhere. Yeah. And then we don't even know that this exists. And whenever this enters somebody's body, the cure is there.
It can already be dealt with straight away. It's it is a what would you say? So normally the way that before this existed, someone would get sick, and hopefully their immune system would deal with it, and then their body would deal with it, and it would just be within that one person. And later with vaccines, that could be spread to other people, but it took time and research and so on, and it wasn't automatic. And with the cyborg chip, it's just instant across all of humanity. Yeah. And it's not that you are immune to it already, because you don't need to be. But once your body comes into contact with it, then it can be dealt with.
Yeah, I think the system is really smart. Mm-hmm. I remember, I can't say I have the number completely correct, but I think the last big pandemic that the world had was COVID-29. Mm-hmm. And I think that kick-started it. Right. I think then everybody realized we need a central system that detects these before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, and automated, that it's not dependent on politics or money or other things, but that a solution or a vaccine or whatever can be found as quickly as possible and also distributed as quickly as possible, and as effectively as possible.
I think for the longest time they were keeping it locked, so it's just basically centralized, government-injected apps, but they commercialized it, I think, a pretty long time ago.
It was done sensibly, like with the medical, with the necessary things still being government controlled, but with the extra stuff, the cosmetic stuff, the athletic stuff, extra stuff on top, that is privatized.
I think in the beginning there was several very revolutionary, but there were a lot of things that suddenly you could change about yourself that weren't essential. It's like change your hairstyle, change your skin color, stuff like that.
Purely for fun, for aesthetic reasons.
I mean, I remember me being the ethics counselor. You get questions sometimes where, is it smart if you change your appearance? Because... Well, I mean, it's
sure, depending on how far you change your appearance. Yeah, if you make yourself with blue hair, for example, instead of brown, it's not so it's noticeable visually, but it can also just look like hair dye. Mm-hmm. But if you change your appearance to be a completely different race, okay, that has different connotations.
Yeah, and it's also where everybody has their own natural appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have this whole movement of people that stick to the natural appearance, which I totally understand.
Sure.
Then you have the people that want to look like something else, and then you have the people that change it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you really, a girl in high school would look different every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really had the idea like, I don't really know this person.
Mm.
Because
okay, so you could tell who she was, like from how she spoke and
where she sat.
Sure, but to look at, you couldn't tell she was the same person.
Yeah, but also when she spoke, she would change that too.
She would change her voice, but would she also change the way she spoke, like the language? Not the language, but like the accent.
No, it was she had typical gestures. And then but of course she was the only one doing that, so you basically recognize everybody
so
else.
Who's the new girl? That's her.
Yeah, exactly, that's her. Yeah, or guy sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think what I like it to use it for is I don't have to cut my nails. It's really basic stuff.
Yeah, it's not. That was the next level. So first there was the medical. Like necessary things, and then that was the next level where it's not medical, like it's not necessary, but it's also not that amazing, but amazing in the sense of how it looks, but of course it's very convenient.
Yeah.
Your hair as well, like keeping that trim, and so
on. But it can also lead to very creative things.
Mm-hmm.
What I really liked was the Mark Reynolds party. Did you go there? Where everybody you were only allowed in if you looked like Mark Reynolds. And then of course he had this big red mohawk. I'm moving my hand now to make my hat look like a mohawk.
It's coming across very well in the audio.
But yeah, so and then you had a massive party. It was 2 floors, a lot of music, and
everyone looking, and they had to look like him at that point. They couldn't be like him as a kid, as an old man, like speculative. But
it's because he has this iconic pose that he used as an avatar on his albums. That was the idea, because the idea was everybody has to look exactly the same. So they just picked. Like the idea was everybody looking the same, so they just picked a very iconic looking person.
Sure, and with the Cyborg Chip, with an advanced enough, expensive enough subscription, you could. I guess there were some people who didn't have the most expensive subscription, and did they look not quite right?
There was even one guy who just dyed his hair.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what was going on with that, but I think the idea was very creative. But of course, this gets picked up as well, and then you have. Avatar app programmers. They will then basically say, hey, our app is the only app with this particular look, and then they throw a party where you are just allowed in if you look like that, but you can only look like that if you pay them.
Right, if you subscribe to their service.
Exactly. So they basically just from one party already earn enough to actually
to cover the development costs. And
so they develop a new thing, have a launch party where you just can go if you look like that. It's a super system.
It does sound it, yeah.
Have you been using your fancy subscription?
I have been so far, not so much cosmetically, but sure, physically.
Okay.
I've been making it that my body feels stronger and faster, and I've been taking away some of the aches and pains that have gathered over the years. And that's just nice. When you're used to like for example, my right arm has been hurting me for a few decades now, and I got used to it. Don't really notice it in that sense, but now that it's gone, it's like, oh wow, my arm, I can just move it normally without it hurting.
It wasn't in the basic.
I had a really basic one. It was like because I had got used to it already. It was like, okay, you're already used to that. We don't need to deal with it. So okay, now after this 1 year subscription is up, I think I'll upgrade a little bit. If I don't stick with the full thing, I may upgrade a little bit to keep that taken care of. But sure, other things. I've been thinking about what I want to do, but I haven't actually yet followed through. This is like I don't know yet if it's purely cosmetic or if it's functional. To have wings. Like I've seen people walking around with wings.
I saw those.
And
they're from that app.
Yeah,
Really?
and yeah, they are, and well, so some are, and you see people flying around, of course, in the sky with such wings, and so I'm going to find out. Are they functional, or are they just using anti-grav belts, to have the wings so it looks like they're flying, but really they're just floating around?
Okay, so it's a combination of the app and then, okay.
I'll find
I
out.
saw those. I thought it was a stunt.
So some things are quick, yeah, like changing your hair, hair color can be done overnight. You say, hey, I want blue hair tomorrow, you wake up, you've got blue hair. If you feel like it, you can make a video of yourself and you can see your hair changing color gradually overnight.
Cool.
It's not instant, The wings take a few months to grow.
Okay.
They're a bit more involved. It's not just that you grow wings and the rest of your body stays the same. The rest of your body also actually needs to change in structure to support the way the muscles move, the way the bones move, and so on. You need new tendons and so on. So it's a short term it's a short term project in terms of a human's lifetime, which is very long by now compared to long ago. But it's not so quick as overnight. So basically, I've started it now, and when are we now? It's January now, so 4 months it was when it was, so February, March, April, May, so in May.
Okay. But is your app the same one that has the antlers? I've seen people with antlers.
Well, let me have a look. It's like you got... let me type in antler. If you want, you can scroll and scroll and scroll. There's way too many. Let me just search for antler. I've got several different types of antlers here.
Okay. Nice. Because I
hadn't really wanted antlers before, but people have them. Do they butt heads with them? Do they actually do like ears? Stags?
I've seen. I don't know anybody personally that has them, but I read a story about a guy who just grew antlers, and then you shed them. Basically, if you're done with them, you can shed them. Yeah. And then you put them on the wall. Makes sense. It's not like did you shoot a deer?
Right,
no, these are my own antlers.
It's his own memento. Really? Yeah, like if you have a wisdom tooth to take it out and put it in lucite or something and keep it as a paperweight.
Okay, so but you're planning with wings.
Yep. I mean, they're growing now. Just like I say, it takes some time.
But then when we have the episode in May, then
I mean, I can keep us up. I don't have to do it every week, but as time goes by, I mean, like 4 months is until they're fully grown.
But you start okay. And then we'll find out if you can actually fly with them or you need something else.
Yep. I'm into it because I've always wanted to fly, obviously fly in an airplane, whatever, but wanted to be able to fly just myself. Looking forward to it.
Oh, man. I can't just... I'm immediately thinking where I would fly to.
I mean, it's like walking, yeah? You can walk anywhere, just it takes a while. So I guess that will also be part of it, is how fast I can fly.
I would immediately fly to the escalator. I think we mentioned in a previous episode there's a massive escalator in Indonesia that leads to the edge of the atmosphere, Earth atmosphere. Yep. It was supposed to go into space, but it doesn't work apparently. So there's a massive viewing platform there, but it's just one escalator going there. Okay. So it takes a long time, and there's a massive queue. And they don't have teleporters.
So you skip the queue basically, fly over.
Exactly. And because they don't
have teleporters. People might not like that. Like other people in the queue, I mean, they might be angry at you. More to the point, they may not let you, but presumably.
Yeah, but I would just fly over there. Just fly
straight to the platform. Yeah, of course. No,
I thought you meant over the queue and then.
It seemed a bit funny, like I'm just going to fly to the front of the queue and then still queue, but shortly.
And then and then stay because escalator. I've done it. It takes forever.
Okay. Yeah. So skip the escalator, go straight to the platform.
Go straight to the platform.
Okay, right.
Well, and to be honest, then if you fly all the way up there, I don't really need.
You don't need the platform unless you want to hang out with some people up there. Of course, you can meet them up there, and they had to queue for ages, and you can just go straight there.
I can imagine I'm being pretty tired when I get up there.
I should add some, as well as growing the wings, maybe a couple of extra arms to carry some other people up there with me. I'm not going to arms. So you can go really far out with this. There are some people I've seen who've, in the app you can see examples of what you'll look like after you've grown or developed or whatever the things are. And some people barely look human anymore.
Man, that can't be healthy.
I don't know. It's all reversed. It's not like one way, yeah? You grow your wings, you don't like them, okay, don't have wings anymore. Again, it takes a little while for them to go away. It's not instant, but, you can... So, for example, some people, they look more like cat buses. Yeah, like they look like a big bus, but with lots of legs and a cat face. They smile, big smile. Anyway,
I
that
can
would be pretty
imagine-
fun, running around, giving your friends lifts.
I can imagine why people, where there's a rumor going around that there's alien technology in there.
Yeah. It does not look like how you imagine how people have looked for most of human history. Yeah, but
Can you also change size?
yeah. These cat buses, people are going inside them. Yes, they're really big. It's not like a bus the size of a person where you can fit like one other person inside. No.
Man, it's like
Not double decker. That would be over the top, but still regular.
that would be over the top.
I
Definitely.
think so. Yeah.
Okay,
But
wow.
actually, that's the point. So I got this gift as a
For solstice, right?
right, but these projects take time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a time limit. The gift was for some period of time that I forget, 12 or 24 months. It's the kind of thing I see now why so I think it's a good gift. You get to try it, but it's the kind of gift that gets you hooked, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine. And also if you start and it takes a while to grow and then your thing grows
Like
out,
halfway
and you have
through
like
a thing, you
tiny
at
wings
least need to pay.
or you're half a bus.
Yeah.
Man. I have seen people with antlers and the wings I've seen recently, but some of the things you're describing I haven't seen at all.
No, I mean, it's a big place.
And it's also pretty new, I know, and they keep on making...
Right. New things are happening. It kind of accelerated, Like at the start, it was medical, sure, and it was pretty safe or steady, at least, for a while. But by now, it's like, oh, wait, we can do this. Oh, wait, we can do this. And then it's accelerating.
Okay.
I'm going for the wings first before I become a cat bus.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Maybe I'll watch what happens with your wings first.
Let's see how it goes,
and then we'll find out.
I mean, there's downsides to having big wings sticking out your back too. They bump into things. So, as I understand it, anyway.
I think maybe we wrap up.
Yep, sounds good.
Maybe we mention one more time how people can contact us.
Please write to us at michaellasagna5@gmail.com, and in the subject put the number 39 so that we know you're replying to this episode.
All right. Then I would say thanks for listening and see you in 2 minutes.
Bye-bye.